Out on this project we have a very nice random crack that I'm going to show you how we're going to repair that the least invasive way. What I mean by that is we've vacuumed it. We're going to take a wire brush and get any of the loose particles out, and then if we have to, we take a 5-in-1 tool and scrape out any large chunks, as opposed to opening this up with a diamond wheel. We want to make this repair as seamless as possible, and in order to do that we'll use our ultra low viscosity Spall FX product. So we've gone ahead and vacuumed this. I've already, for the sake of time, brushed this out with the brush. We've gotten all the large pieces out. Now what we're going to do is we're going to use our Spall FX. We send it to you in a nice sealed package, and in this package we include a static mixing nozzle. And you'll also notice on top we provide you with a flow restrictor. This is our standard nozzle that we use for wider cracks. On this very fine crack, I'm going to utilize this needle tip adapter that you can see at the end of the nozzle. It's a simple plastic piece that just snaps on the end. In order to use this product, we have to have a dispenser. So we have a 22-ounce hand dispenser. Very, very simple. First thing we want to do with the cartridge is we want to shake it. Shake it for about 20 seconds. What that does is that blends out the pigment that we put in the B side. We have a ball bearing in here and I can hear it shaking back and forth. Very important to shake this up every time before you use the cartridge. Then we go ahead and take off the sealed top, and I pull off the plunger at the top. You want to save that for later. Then we have this flow restrictor. And this flow restrictor has very small holes that I'm going to push it into the top of the cartridge here. And what that does is that controls the flow of the very thin Spall FX so it doesn't come gushing out and we lose control of it. Then I take the mixing nozzle, simply screw it on, and this is the nozzle that we have with the needle tip adapter. Then I'm going to load this into our hand dispenser. And you want to keep this pointed up in the air because it's a very, very thin product. And as I start to pump this into the back end, you'll start to notice the product flowing through it and starting to mix. And you want to have out on the job a purge cup, which I'm now going to dispense some of the product into the purge cup. You want to make sure it's on ratio, so pump a little bit into it, stop it, and come on over to the crack and start filling directly into the crack. And what you're going to notice as I move along here is the product is going to start to disappear down into the crack because it's such a low viscosity. It's 25 centipoids, which is almost the viscosity of water. This product will cure up in about 9 to 10 minutes. Very fast curing material. Also will cure down to minus 30 degrees Fahrenheit. So it's excellent for using it inside of very, very cold environments. Using the needle adapter gives me great control, so I'm not dispensing product all over the floor since this is a very, very narrow crack. And what I'm going to do is dispense this for a little while, then I'm going to go back and look and find any spots that it's weeped down. Come back over here to the beginning of the crack, and as you can see, if you take a look here, it's weeped down into this area. Now I'm going to just fill it to refusal. I'll put another layer of product down. This is the material that we always want to use on very, very thin cracks. So we've gone ahead and filled this section of the crack that I want to use for this demonstration. Realize that you only have to use the amount of product necessary for the repair. The balance of the product can be saved. I'll show you how to do that. You pull the handle back on the dispenser, keeping it pointed downward. You come back over to your cup. You go ahead and unscrew the mixing nozzle, and then you point it down. Then you take out your flow restrictor, point it down again, tilt it back upwards. Use a little rag here, clean off the top, and then this plunger that we had saved, go ahead and put that back on the top and save the remaining product that's in the cartridge for the next time. We've only used the amount that we needed on this job. Out on this job we have a much larger random crack. On the thin one we used our FX. However, on this wider crack we're going to use our TX product. And instead of just trying to wire brush it out, we've decided that it's better, because it's contaminated, to open it up with a vertical diamond blade. And so we're going to cut that out right now to get to good clean concrete. Then we're going to fill it with our TX product. On this very large crack that we've opened up with our diamond blade, we've decided there's two different ways that we can fix this. We're going to show you one method using our very, very thin Spall FX. And since this crack goes down quite a ways, a good technique is to use sand and fill the crack first and then shoot the FX over the top of it. So it's a very simple process. You take 30 grit sand and you pour it into the crack. And you strike it off, and you get it level with the surface. All right, we're going to use our ultra-thin Spall FX to fill over this sand. Remember, I said you've always got to shake it before you use it. Shake it for about 20 seconds. You can hear the ball bearing inside. We'll go ahead and take the top cap off, save that to the side. You'll notice how large the openings are. That's why we use this very nice flow restrictor. It simply shoves into the large openings and restricts the flow of the product. Makes it much more controllable. And we'll go ahead and screw on the static mixing nozzle. And we'll take our hand dispenser. And as we have the cartridge pointed straight overhead, we'll go ahead and push the back plungers into the tool, and as we start to pump it, you'll see the product coming through. I'll go over to my purge cup and shoot some product into the purge cup. Make sure it's on ratio. Then I'll stop it, and then I'll start filling right over the crack. And what's going to happen is, because the material is so thin, it's going to migrate down through the sand and come in contact and start bonding to the crack itself. We use 30 grit sand. That's a good sieve size. It's thin enough to be able to penetrate down into a crack, but also allows the FX the ability to penetrate down through it. This crack goes down about 3/4 of an inch. We'll come back to the beginning, start shooting again over the top. And as you'll have noticed here, the material we first shot in has already penetrated through the sand, and now I'm getting the second pass to make sure that we get full penetration of our FX down into the crack. Okay, that looks good. So, once we're done filling this section, simply pull the plungers back, take your cartridge with your little purge cup, keep it pointed down, take out the nozzle, then you want to take off the flow restrictor. Now you've got, top of the cap is nice and clean. Take the plunger top, install it back on, and now you've saved the product for the next time. On this wide random crack, we've opened it up with the diamond blade. Now we're going to repair this with our slightly thicker TX product. It also comes in a cartridge, and we provide you with a flow restrictor, which I'm going to put off to the side right now. Just like with the FX product, it's necessary to shake it for 20 seconds before we dispense it. This ensures that the pigment that's in the B side is fully agitated throughout the entire product, so we got to have a nice consistent color when we shoot it out of the cartridge. We go ahead and take off the cap right here, and we want to pop off the plungers. At the top, you'll notice there's a very wide opening. We provide you with a nice little flow restrictor that you simply push into the cartridge. That necks down the size of the opening. Now all I have to do is screw on our mixing nozzle. It's the same static mixing nozzle that we use with our FX. Make sure that's on good and tight. Then we take our 22-ounce hand tool. We stick the cartridge in, always keeping it pointed upwards. Start to push the plungers towards the back end of the cartridge, and you'll start to notice the flow of the product coming through. I take it over to our purge cup, start shooting some product in, make sure it's on ratio. Now I'll come over to the crack right here that we've opened up. I've decided to use the TX on this wider crack because our TX is thicker than our FX. It's like milk as opposed to water, and it'll be more successful on repairing this wide crack because we won't be losing it down through the crack like we might have with the FX material. So simply gun the product in with nice smooth strokes of the hand tool. Some of this crack is obviously a little bit thinner than the other. This product will cure quickly. It'll be cured in about 9 to 10 minutes. I'm going back over this section of the crack because it's weeped down through. Another good thing about our TX product is it has zero smell. It's 100% solid, so you can be working inside of an active store where the employees are working at night, and no one will ever notice that you're using a repair product. And then, just like with our FX, we'll have to grind it flush when it's cured. It's an excellent repair product for cracked concrete. I've got that filled. I'm going to go ahead and pop the plungers back. I'm going to be able to save the balance that's left in the cartridge by keeping it pointed down. Take the mixing nozzle off, set that aside. Now I've got the flow restrictor I want to pull out, and I want to clean off the top. And now I'm able to put the cap back on and save the remaining product that's in the cartridge for the next time. Now that we've done the repair of this random crack with our FX, both with sand and also our TX over there without sand, we're going to take a Zec wheel with a 4.5-inch grinder with the dustless system. We're going to grind this flush. This will be the finish of the repair cycle using our FX, and you'll see the finished result.